Sal Berry and Tim Parish. This is the Puck Junk Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Puck Junk Hockey Podcast. I'm Sal Berry and with me is Tim Parish. And today we are going to talk about the 22-23 Upper Deck Extended Series. Don't call it Series 3. It is the Extended Series. We're also going to talk about a few of the upcoming releases, and I want to talk about the upcoming Puck Junk email newsletter that I'm going to be starting this week. Tim, how you been since the last show?
I'm good. I'm good.
No trees fell on your house or car?
No trees have fallen. No damage has been done. We're safe this week. I've marked myself safe from damage.
So I finally got around to opening those boxes of Extended Series. We'll talk about that a little later. What I do want to touch on, though, is that I'm starting an email newsletter, and you can sign up for that at puckjunk.com/newsletter. And what I'm going to do is in this newsletter, basically, I'll just summarize like new hockey card releases, like what's coming out, what's come out, upcoming mail-in autograph opportunities with current and former hockey players, upcoming card shows that should have at least some hockey cards, any card show that I think is worth the trip. I'm not going to necessarily list out one-day card shows because there's tons of those, but anything that's like a regional show or maybe more of a hockey-themed show that might be worth looking into, I'm going to mention those in the newsletter, as well as other hockey card and collectible news, and then any new T-shirts that I create or any T-shirt sales that I do on the Puck Junk online shop. I'll mention that as well. And then you could sign up for that at puckjunk.com/newsletter.
Would this be a digital newsletter, or are you actually mailing these?
No, email newsletter. I said that first. Yeah, I think that's implied.
I don't know if you're going all straight up old school or not.
Oh, trust me, I've thought about it, but it's that's just
people
so
don't do that
expensive.
kind of stuff anymore.
Well, there's no value in printed material except to a very specific demographic. And by demographic, I mean like an age group. People under 30 don't care. If it's not online, they don't care. If it's not digital, if they can't look at it on their phone, they don't care. And that's fine. There are older people who like reading printed stuff. I'm one of them. I like reading the hockey news. I like reading Sports Collectors Digest. I like reading these things. But I don't want to say we're in the minority, but it's...
Yeah, we are.
I remember we used to do a newsletter. This is when I worked at a toy company. We did a newsletter for these die-cast cars that we made that were collectible. They were called Johnny Lightning. And people loved the newsletter, but it was just such a suck on time and resources, like doing the design and the layout, getting the writing. And by the time we sent the newsletter out to people, the information was outdated.
Well, and that was always my big rub about Beckett. By the time the articles were printed and everything else, you're 2 months out from when it was originally planned. It's
right.
Basically like, oh, we're getting an article about the upcoming Stanley Cup playoffs. Cool, because it's over last week. So.
Right. Well, I mean, with Beckett, at least in the 90s and stuff, the thing is that information traveled a lot slower. And I'll give a for instance now, if Upper Deck says, hey, we're coming out with this set of cards and this is going to be the configuration, people know about it immediately. But 30 years ago, if Upper Deck said, hey, we're making this new product, who would they tell? They would tell Beckett. They would tell Baseball Hobby News. They would tell Tough Stuff, right? They would tell the publications hey, we're making this product and here's the information on it. Then we would learn about that from those publications. Now what happens is that we learn about it from the retailers. Once they get the sell sheet and it's solicited, they put it out there and they let us know. So that kind of pretty much killed any possibility of getting new and newsworthy information from printed materials.
Yeah, that internet, they had to go and kill everything, didn't it?
So to answer your question again, no, Tim, it will not be a printed newsletter. It will be an email newsletter. Sign up for it at puckjunk.com/newsletter. Moving on. Upcoming releases for August. So August 10th, we saw the release of 2023-24 MVP at hobby and retail. Can you believe it? We're already getting 23-24 hockey cards. And yet, some of the other cards on this list are from 21-22 and 22-23. So August 10th, we got next year's MVP. August 13th, we have last year, well, I guess 2 years ago, 21-22 stature. August 23rd will be the release of 22-23 Upper Deck CHL and 22-23 Upper Deck Black Diamond. And then August 30th, we'll see 22-23 Upper Deck Skybox Metal Universe and 21-22 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection. So, yeah.
And most of those don't have dates. They're just tentatively for the month because they're supposed to be released. They could still get pushed back. So we could have half the 23 releases out and still getting 21s roll out.
I mean, I like Skybox Metal Universe, as I've said a million times. And in fact, for some reason, our episode about the 21-22 Skybox Metal Universe had a lot more listens than most of our other episodes. So I think that our listeners or fans who listen to hockey podcasts or hockey card podcasts also like that set, because that particular episode has a significant amount more listens than our other episodes. But
that's just the algorithm. You had metal in the search title, so people went there looking for music stuff.
Oh, they thought it was going to be the Mega Metal cards from the 90s.
They thought we were going to talk about Metallica tour and that kind of stuff.
I haven't liked Metallica since the whole Napster thing.
Jeez, that was a long time ago.
I know, I hold a grudge.
Apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean...
That's like saying, I haven't liked Metallica since they kicked Dave Mustaine out.
Well, that doesn't count. They weren't really Metallica back then.
Sure they were.
They were, but they weren't.
I mean, they weren't. They didn't have, like, major albums or anything.
I mean, Mustaine's a damn good guitarist, but we're better off having Metallica and Megadeth as two separate groups.
Agreed.
Yes, the heavy metal podcast is for another time.
We'll have to get Brian back on.
Yeah. And then we could settle once and for all. I know they're not heavy metal, but we could settle once and for all what the second best Queensrÿche album is.
The second best?
Mindcrime.
We're going Mindcrime is the best?
Yeah, I mean, duh.
Okay.
So second best.
I'm privy to Empire, but...
Yes, you'd see Empire, and I'd say Rage for Order. So that's where we agree to disagree.
I actually like some of the newer stuff without Jeff Tate, too. So.
Ooh, sacrilege.
Fights amongst brothers are not my concern, as long as they're still putting out good music.
Right. So anyway, Upper Deck Extended Series. I love to call it Series 3. That's what it is in my mind. I think Upper Deck kind of positions it as Extended Series, almost like it's not necessary content, it's bonus content. Like Series 1 and Series 2 are like Part 1 and Part 2 of a movie. And then Extended Series is kind of like the bonus features on the DVD. I don't know. I don't see it that way. I see it as the third chapter, the final act in a 3-act play or a 3-act movie or a 3-act whatever.
Maybe it's the cutscenes during the credits.
Oh, okay.
We can go
I don't
with
know.
that.
Clemente said something to me at the National that I agreed with, that Extended Series tends to be really underappreciated by collectors or just by the general hockey card collecting population. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and he may have talked to you about that separately because we had that same conversation about it. And, my point was because they generally reserve extended. I mean, look, Young Guns have been the feature focus of Upper Deck flagship sets for many, many, many years. So now that we have extended, it's like we've already stretched our ability to throw as many Young Guns into a set release as we can. Oh, by the way, we need 35 more or 50 more or whatever they're doing for that setup. And it's like, what do we go to now? So if you look at most of the releases with extended so far, that grouping has been kind of lackluster with some few exceptions. I think this year's the 22-23 is no different.
So let me just give a little bit of background information about the set for our listeners. So 22-23 Upper Deck Extended Series, it's about $95 a box. You get 24 packs in a box. You get 8 cards per pack. Now, this is the last Upper Deck flagship set that will have this configuration, because next year for Upper Deck Series 1 in 23-24, a box goes from 24 packs to 12 packs. A pack goes from 8 cards to 12 cards. So we get less packs, but more cards per pack. But overall, a box goes from 192 cards to 144 cards. And there's going to be the inclusion of more numbered parallels. And if I remember correctly, you still get 6 Young Guns per box, but now you're just kind of getting them every other pack instead of every 4th pack. And we figured that packs are probably going to be like $10 each. But I guess we'll tackle that when we get to it. But yeah, so this is the last hurrah of the 8 cards per pack, 24 packs per box. Now, as far as just the breakdown of the set, there are 250 cards in the set. So they're numbered 501 through 750. So the 200 base cards, 501 to 653 are base veteran cards, guys who've been traded and they're pictured in their new uniforms. Now, traded during the 21-22 season, or maybe early in the 22-23 season, but nobody that was traded at the trade deadline, like, say, Patrick Kane or Vladimir Tarasenko. So, like, those guys are not in their Rangers uniforms in this set. And by the way things look, they're probably not going to be in Rangers uniforms in next year's sets either. But anyways, so 501 through 653 are base veterans. 654 through 698 are photos from the All-Star game. So it has pictures of superstar players who played in the All-Star game. And then cards 699 and 700 are base checklists. Now, we have 50 short prints at the end. So 701 through 730 are Young Guns. The last card is a checklist in that. So we get 29 new Young Guns and a Young Gun checklist. Then 731 through 750, on the front of the card, they say round 1 draft, which is what I like to call them. But Trading Card Database is referring to them as first round rookies. But either way, regardless of what you call them, these kind of have like this old school feel to them, where it has the player wearing the hat and the jersey, and they've just been drafted. And these are the kind of cards that I would actually like Young Guns to be. So I like these cards. I'd have no problem if they had the Young Gun logo on them. I mean, Alexei Lafreniere had 2 Young Guns. I mean, I know they were the same number, but a player can have more than one rookie card in the same set. And I think these meet the criteria of being rookie cards.
That was more of a Easter egg rather than part of the set, though.
Yes.
I think what they're trying to do is, I mean, if I'm going to be perfectly honest here, you're basically taking all your first round picks that have been stretched through 3 series of cards, and you're trying to kind of wrap it all up with a recap. Like, here's all your first round draft picks that we've made cards of this year. And there you go.
I like it. Honestly, I like it. And I don't know why, at least on where I've looked, like on Trading Card Database, I'm not seeing like an RC designation next to it. I mean, Matty Beniers had his Young Gun in Series 1, and then he's got this round 1 draft card in Series 3 or Extended Series. I don't know why that can't also be counted as a rookie card, because it came out during his rookie year and he's wearing his NHL uniform. And it came out in an officially licensed NHL set that was issued in packs, not as a box set or at McDonald's or whatever, right? So it meets all the criteria. It checks all the boxes. So as far as I'm concerned, that's also a rookie card. I mean, if the Young Gun is more desirable, so be it. But to me, that's also a rookie card. These are also rookie cards.
Could make a case for that.
I just did.
You can also use the COMC designation of rookie year card or rookie year related card.
Because I like that.
I understand that this is outside the realm of the normal, hey, well, here's a rookie card, but it's the canvas, or here's a rookie card, but it's the profiles or something like that. Well, yeah, that's a parallel or it's an insert. These are numbered as part of the base set. So technically they're a base card. And if we want to get really technical, they're also short printed like the Young Guns are.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a valid point. I don't know, with today's definition of rookie card and how bent out of shape people get, I don't know how much support you'll get hobby-wise overall, but it is a valid argument.
It's like people want rookie cards to be hard to get. And if they're not hard to get, then they get angry about it. And they're like, "Oh, that's not a rookie card."
Dare I use one of the words that I hate? One of my hobby words that needs to be retired. True rookie card. I can't stand it. But that's what that argument is. Oh, this is his true rookie card. True. So there could be a million other releases. You could pull the card out of O-Pee-Chee or Platinum or MVP or Black Diamond or the Cup or whatever. But this is his true rookie card.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a BS term, and I hate it. And it should die. But that's what people use. Because if it's not the rookie card that fits their narrative, then it's not a true rookie.
Right.
If they're a person that jumps on the bandwagon of it's got to be a Future Watch auto in order to be the true rookie, then that's their thing. If it's not a Cup RPA, that might be their thing. If it's not the Young Gun, that might be their thing.
Right.
I mean, look what we got next year. We have one of ones that are going to be coming out for the Young Gun. So imagine what that's going to end up causing. Is that a real rookie card? It's a one of one. There's only one. So you're telling me the only true rookie card is a one of one? This will be a fun discussion once the new product comes out.
Again, it's the eye of the beholder. And
exactly.
Like 9 times out of 10, or maybe 7 times out of 10, because I tend to exaggerate, but I don't know. I haven't really been keeping track. But like when people will say to me, "Do you have a rookie card of this guy?" And I'll be like, "Yes, I do." And I'll show them that I have like 3 rookie cards of a player. This is like when I'm selling at a show. Then they'll be bad. Be like, "Well, those aren't Young Guns." I'm like, "Well, 1, you didn't say Young Guns, and 2, you asked for a rookie card, and I showed you a couple different rookie cards." But I know there were a couple of nice young men at the National who were really big fans of Jason Robertson. I think they bought something from me, but then one of them was like, "Oh, you wouldn't happen to have any Jason Robertson rookie cards?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry. I don't have any like Future Watch autos." And they're like, no, that's what I can't afford. Just any rookie card. And I had like an O-Pee-Chee Platinum card, and I had like an MVP rookie card or something like that. And they each bought one. They were like thrilled because they were like cheap Jason Robertson rookie cards. And they're like, "Yeah, this is our guy. And now we got a rookie card of his." And we're like super stoked about it. And then he just said, "Hey, well, you're from Chicago. You wouldn't happen to have any Kane and Taves rookie cards that we could afford?" And I'm like, "Well, I got these rookie class cards and they're pretty affordable." And they're like, "Yes, awesome. Rookie cards of future Hall of Famers. I'll take them." You know what I mean? And so it's in the eye of the beholder of what is a true rookie card. So I feel like Upper Deck has really kind of figured out the formula for extended series. And we'll get to the inserts because inserts is like a whole discussion unto itself. Inserts, parallels, whatnot. And that's kind of really what makes this set fun. So they kind of figured, 200 base cards series 1, 200 base cards series 2, 200 base cards extended series. That's 600 cards. And they're probably like, well, we really don't want to stretch the selection too thin, right? Back in the day when like Score knew it was going to do a series 1 and a series 2, or like when Upper Deck does series 1, series 2, sometimes they'll hold back some of the best players and put them in series 2, right? You don't put all your best guys in series 1 because then when series 2 comes out, people go, Gretzky wasn't in it, Lemieux's not in it, Yzerman's not in it, Roenick's not in it, Messier's not in it, Brodeur's not in it. I'm not going to bother, right? Because all the guys that you want is in series 1. And then over time, what companies do when they have 2 series is they pace it and they say, "You know what? We'll put Ovechkin in series 1 and we'll put Crosby in series 2. We'll put Patrick Kane in series 1. We'll put Jonathan Taves in series 2. You get the idea. They kind of space them out. Series 3 or extended series is always kind of like, if it doesn't happen, it wouldn't really affect series 1 and series 2. There are no major players that would be missing if you just had series 1 and series 2 this year. So extended series is kind of like, well, it'd be kind of nice to have some cards of the guys in their new uniforms. Let's do that. And then it'd be nice to have cards of like the bit players, the unsung heroes, the guys who never seem to get cards other than maybe they got a Young Gun 5 years ago when they played in like one game for 2 minutes or whatever. But with the all-star cards. I love cards from all-star games. I've always loved cards from all-star games. I know it seems silly to dedicate a bunch of cards to just one game. I love the all-star uniforms. Even if I don't like this year's uniform design, I love seeing the players in the all-star uniforms. And it gives people the opportunity to collect another card of their favorite players, because the guys who are in the all-star game tend to be guys who are heavily collected, like your Crosby and your Ovechkin. So that kind of makes the base set better. The fact that they have some of the superstars in it, albeit in all-star uniforms. And then with the rookies, the first year Upper Deck only did 30 Young Guns, right? Because they just couldn't come up with that many. Or when they did, I think last year they ended up doing the full 50 Young Guns, if I remember correctly. But it wasn't that great of a rookie class. So this year they said, you know what? We're not going to push it past 30, but then we're going to do these draft pick cards that everyone's going to love and make them short printed. And maybe they can also be rookie cards, maybe not. But at least they're doing cards of players during what their rookie year is, right? Some of those guys in that round one draft card subset, Matty Beniers, Lucas Reichel, Owen Power, Jack Quinn, Jake Sanderson, Kent Johnson, etc. So I like that formula. And if they did this next year, I'd be good with it.
It's funny you mentioned that the extended series are like leftover players that nobody cares about. Because I know when I went to look at the checklist, when I opened the box that I got, I just wanted to see what Penguins were in there. And it's funny because Penguins are 607 through 611. So there's 5 of them in extended. And it's Jan Ruda, traded. Jeff Petrie, traded. Brock McGinn, traded. Jason Zucker, traded. The only one that's still on the team is Chad Ruino out of that group.
Wow.
So, yeah, I just found that funny. Now, of course, Ruda and Petrie were recent. And the Zucker trade went down, I think, after Extended was released. So those were all more recent trades, but it's just kind of funny that you would say, yeah, these are kind of like extra throwaway players that aren't necessarily the superstars, but they might be third liners or that missing winger from the second line that you didn't use in the first 2 series. Yeah, the entire Penguins roster minus 1 players no longer there.
Well, it's funny because I actually pulled out Jan Ruda's card as one that I just wanted to mention because he's wearing that retro jersey that I think they wore during the outdoor game.
With the old Pirates jersey?
The old Pittsburgh Pirates hockey jersey, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that. I mean, likewise with, even though finally he got to play a significant amount of games this year, Mason Shaw of the Wild is pictured wearing that North Star colored Wild third jersey, which looks fantastic. I'm looking at this other one. This isn't necessarily a player that I follow, but Kyle Connor, man, has some serious sick flow going on his base card.
That's the regular base card. There's a photo variant of that. The same haircut. It's probably taken like seconds before, but it's him skating down the ice and it's got his flow going in the back.
Nice. That's
one of the photo variants that's considered the All-Star Skills Competition photo variant. So with the All-Stars, I mean, there's a lot of them. There's the regular base cards, and then there's also photo variations of those base cards. There's a second photo variant, though, as well. So if you're flipping through these cards and you didn't really notice, but you may see some pictures that look like the players are going in or out of the penalty box, that is also a photo variant that they did this year. I believe there are, I want to say 12 or 15 of those. Most of the players on that list, I want to say, are players that you would expect to see going to the penalty box. But there are quite a few on there that were kind of a surprise when I saw the list, like Phil Kessel. I don't think Phil's really known for his penalty box existence.
No,
necessarily.
He's not a heavily penalized player.
And I think David Perron was on that list. I don't take him as a guy that serves many penalties either.
It is nice, though, to get a card of Phil Kessel as a
Vegas
Golden Knight. I seem to have gotten a lot of the suit variations in the past couple of years. I do like the penalty box variations because at least it shows the player doing something different. That's kind of like the kind of cards that we used to get back in the day. Now it seems like a lot of the cards are like this kind of like 3/4 of the way up or chest up photos. Although we're starting to get some really interesting pictures. Like I'll highlight a few other ones that I like. There's one of Oscar Lindblom, and he's wearing the San Jose Sharks jersey that's styled to look like an Oakland Seals jersey.
Yeah.
Sorry, California Golden Seals. There were the Oakland Seals, and they were the California Golden Seals, the seafoam green and yellow and white. So that's a really cool picture. And then there's one of Sam Gagner, and he's wearing a warm-up jersey because his sleeve number is 1,000. So I'm assuming he wore this in his 1,000th game, like during the warm-up. Because I looked at that, I'm like, 1, 0, 0, 0. I'm like, I thought all numbers had to be between 1 and 98. So, so this must have been from his 1,000th game, which he played with the Jets. That's a cool one. And I love the one of Jacob Middleton. So it's a new photo of him with his new team, the Minnesota Wild. But he's got like this great toothless smile. It's like if they did the Mel Bridgman card from 83, 84 OPC, right? This is what it would look like because it's like a smiling player missing teeth, but it's actually a nice photo and not an ugly photo.
Yeah, when I saw that one, I was thinking exactly that's Dennis Maruk or that's a Oris Kindrachuk card or one of those guys from back in the day with the crazy mustache and missing teeth and the whole deal. But it's funny you bring up the suit photo variant from previous years. I'm just glad they didn't continue the ones from this year that they did in like Series 2, the Swagnificent.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's fine to have the suit variations, but why did they have to actually call it something and put foil stamping on the card that says that? That's the part that drove me crazy. Like, come on. Really? We're going to call this Swagnificent? I didn't pull any of those, but.
Another interesting photo that I'll point out is Nito Niederreiter's card. So he went from the Hurricanes to the Predators. But what's interesting about this card is he's hopping the boards. But if you look closely, he's hopping off of the Blackhawks bench. So it appears that he got knocked over the boards. And now he's getting off of the Blackhawk bench and getting back into the play.
I noticed that too.
There's definitely some like fun photos like that, which to me kind of feels like old school, like old school upper deck cards where now like the fun photos seem to be reserved for UD Canvas. And then we also got cards of like Matthew Tkachuk with the Panthers and Josh Manson with the Avalanche, Peter Mrazek with the Blackhawks, Antti Ranta with the Hurricanes, Claude Giroux with the Ottawa Senators, Alex DeBrincat also with the Ottawa Senators, and so forth. So it's nice to have these updated player cards, but it's also nice to have some interesting photos. And like I said, I like the base set. I like the breakdown of the short prints. I think it's okay to have 50 short prints as long as they're worthwhile. Like when they would do like all-star short prints or season highlight short prints. Remember like when they would do that, like they would round out the young guns with like 5 other cards that weren't young guns and they were like the short prints that nobody wanted. These feel desirable because at least they're rookie year cards, if we want to call them that.
Well, and the fact that they used so many all-star cards, and they're not just like regular player cards that just say all-star. They're actually the players in their all-star jersey or doing something at the all-star game. So that was good. And then you go to the Young Guns, which aren't as overpowering, mixed with those first-round rookie cards. So, I mean, it's nice to have the variety, and I think that's what Extended always is. There's a lot of extra variety here, in addition to the base cards.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to just read off this list of inserts just to give you an idea of the sheer amount of inserts. Well, you already mentioned the variants, the penalty box variants and the all-star skills variants. There are a couple of different parallels. There's the clear-cut parallels, which are printed on that PETG plastic. So they have like certain areas of the card are clear. There are the French parallels. There's the UD exclusives that are numbered out of 100, and there are the UD high gloss that are numbered out of 10. Okay, so we've had those before. We're familiar with those. But then as far as inserts, there's UD canvas and UD
Well,
canvas.
don't forget the clear cut exclusive as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The unannounced one, which you got one, right?
Yeah, I opened a total of 3 boxes, and I got a UD clear cut exclusive, which threw me for a loop because it said on it UD exclusives, and then the Upper Deck logo, instead of it being in silver foil, was in gold foil, and the little piping around the player's name, the striping, piping, whatever you want to call it, it is also in gold foil. It's Alex Goligowski, so yay. Not necessarily doing the happy dance about this one, but I never seem to get any clear cuts of the guys that I collect, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, you're...
See, I only opened 1 box. I got a clear cut in mine. It wasn't an exclusive, though, but it was the Chris Kreider All-Star.
Nice.
So it was a short printed one, but so that was kind of cool. But
yeah, I mean,
it's just a regular clear cut.
Right. Well, I got 1 clear cut per box, and one was a UD exclusives, the Goligowski, and then I got Jordan Martinook and Derek Ryan. So as far as the inserts, though, okay, deep breath. We got UD canvas and UD canvas black and white, Dazzler's blue, Dazzler's pink, Dazzler's orange, Dazzler's green. So orange and green are in retail, by the way, and blue and pink are in hobby. We got 2007-8 Upper Deck Retro and Retro Young Guns, more on those later. 2006-7 Black Diamond Retro and Black Diamond Retro Rookie Gems. 1997-98 Collector's Choice Commemorative is what Trading Card DB is calling them. I'm calling them whatever, but they're triptychs. They're 3 cards that make up a picture of the player, like 3 different cards of the player, and you put them together in like a 9-pocket page, or at least 3 of them in a row, and they make up kind of like a panoramic.
Yeah, we pulled one of these in a box that we had, and I couldn't find it anywhere because I didn't know really what it was.
Right.
So I was looking at the odds on the back of the pack and the back of the box, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, I have no clue what this is. And I had to look it up, and I saw Collector's Choice Commemorative. I'm like, how is this Collector's Choice? Like, I don't remember puzzle pieces like this from Collector's Choice.
I don't either.
Especially in 97. That threw me off. But I got one of the Connor McDavid pieces, the 3rd one.
Nice.
Which is supposedly a short printed one. Like the 3rd piece in every puzzle.
Oh.
They're tiered, by the way. So like the far left piece is tier 1. And those are like 1 out of 48 packs. So you get 1 every 2 boxes. The middle one is 1 out of 72. And the 3rd one is 1 out of 144. So the tier 3 odds are like short printed pretty significantly. So getting that 3rd piece, supposedly harder. But I did look up to see how these are selling, and nobody's really putting a whole lot of value into these.
I got a 1, a 2, and a 3. I got 1 in each box. 1 was the first card, 1 was the second card, 1 was the 3rd card, of course, of all different players. But anywho, so we got those, and then we have Smooth Grooves, which are also printed on the PETG plastic. They're like that plastic type of card.
I didn't get any of those.
Smooth Grooves Gold Spectrum and Smooth Grooves Sapphire. We have SPX, SPX Bronze, which are numbered out of 250, and SPX Gold, which are numbered out of 50. These are die cuts. Retro History Class Level 1, which are numbered out of 100, and Retro History Class Level 2, which are numbered out of 25. Black Diamond Dominance and Black Diamond Dominance Emerald. Clear Dominance and Clear Dominance Gold Spectrum. Those are also printed on plastic. Day with the Cup of Avalanche players, because there was also Day with the Cup in Series 2, and now there's Day with the Cup in Extended Series. Holographics and Holographics Gold, Holographics Future Frame, NHL Specialists, which were unannounced inserts, Snow Spray Autographs, which were also unannounced, and, you know, if you get an autograph, more power to you, because those are far and few between.
Those are base numbered, too.
Are they?
Yeah. So if you pull one of those, it's base numbered like the rest of the base cards. It just has a different photo of the player. And it's a photo of them snow spray.
Right, doing the hockey stop.
Yeah.
And then the last two, these are also unannounced, Young Guns Acetate and Young Guns Acetate 2122 update. So those are the plethora of inserts that you get in extended series or can get in extended series. So basically in like one box, I got like 18 inserts plus 6 Young Guns or whatever, for round 1 draft and Young Guns, whatever you want to call the short prints. Just basically 6 rookie cards and 18 inserts. And then in my other box, I got 19 and then also 6 short prints. And then I think the third box was about the same. In my last 2 boxes, it was weird because I had one pack that would have 2 inserts, but all the other packs had 1 insert, either a Young Gun or short print or an insert or a parallel, like a clear cut or whatnot. So you get a lot of inserts. You get a lot of different inserts. Do I think there's too much? Yeah, probably. There's a few I could do without. I mean, I'm a big fan of holographics, and I'm a little sore that I only got 1 holographics in my 3 boxes. I also like the SPX because they're die cut and they look cool, and I wouldn't mind more of those, but that's just kind of how it is. I could do without the history class, though. Even though they're printed on these like nifty foil board stock, they're no different than many other inserts. I mean, they're called history class, but there's really nothing historical about them. It just talks about a game on the back, like he had 3 goals in this game, or he had 2 goals and an assist, or whatever. Nothing historical.
You know what I found weird about those is the way they're numbered. The rookies are first and then the veterans. But if you look at the odds on the wrapper, the veterans are 1 out of 40 and the rookies are 1 out of 60. So it's a lower odd to pull the rookies, but yet the rookies are numbered 1 through 20.
Yeah, usually they put the rookies at the end, so they're kind of like an afterthought. So if you decide you want to go beyond the 50 or 100 or whatever the easier to get cards are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I got 1 in our box, but I got Wyatt Johnston, so that was a good one.
Pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I got Austin Matthews and Connor Hellebuck.
So I got one of the SPX ones too. It was just the die cut, the blue colored one. I don't know if those are, I think they're different colors, right? They're like blue and red maybe.
Yeah, so the SPX, there's
Bronze.
gold, bronze, and the regular, which are like a bluish silver.
Bluish color, yeah.
Probably just blue.
I got one of those, but when I pulled the black diamond, I was like, wow, that's cool, because it reminded me of like 05 or 06.
I think it's meant to be 06, 07.
Yeah, and then I looked at it, and I was like, wait a minute. I got Uri Slafkovsky. Well, that's a quad. That's a 4-star. So you look at any of the old black diamond sets with the rookie gems, the quad diamonds were the hard pull. Like you might have got 1 per box. These were 1 out of 400.
Ouch.
So I was like, wow, 1 out of 400. I pulled a quad diamond. Like, that's pretty cool. And then I looked these up. People are selling these for nothing. Like nothing.
I know.
Almost
it's
less
crazy.
than nothing. It would cost me more to ship these than people are selling them for. And I can't believe that for 1 second, because this is the number 1 pick in the draft. You're telling me that this guy's going to get pennies for a 1 out of 400 odds pull?
Right.
Give me a break. So needless to say, I'm sitting on this one for a while to see what happens.
I would. And I think this kind of goes back to my earlier point, our earlier collective point about extended series not getting the respect that it deserves as a hockey card set, because there are a lot of these cool cards like that Slafkovsky quadruple diamond that you pulled, and yet the investment-minded collectors or the outright investors are going to just basically say, 1, there's no good Young Guns in this set, so I'm not going to bother with it. And 2, even though that is a card, a rookie card or a rookie year card of the first overall draft pick, it's not a rookie card. And so they're going to say, well, if it's not his Young Gun, I don't care. If it's not his Young Gun or a Future Watch auto or the Cup rookie, I'm not interested. And that's too bad because, like you said, That's 1 out of 400 packs. That's a tough pull. Well,
Right.
a black diamond, quadruple diamond is 1 out of 400 packs. That doesn't mean that you'd get Slavkovskys in every 400th pack. That means you would just get one of however many of those quadruple diamonds there are. So
Yeah,
I mean,
because there's 46 of those cards, and of the 4 stars, there's only 6. So it's Ovechkin, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, and then Matty Beniers, Slavkovsky, and Shane Wright. That's all there is.
and so you get one in every 400 packs. So
Yeah.
that means you'd only pull that particular card. You'd have to open 2,400 packs to possibly get that card.
Yeah, so it's fairly rare when it comes to a hit count. You know, all the people that busted cases and cases and cases, there's a bunch of these out there, but the odds are not reflected in the value right now. So
No.
like I said, that one's a hold for me. But you brought up a couple times the weak young guns. So here's the thing, and I know you'd asked me ahead of time to like kind of look at the young guns and see if there's anybody that's worth the cardboard they're printed on. Look, yes, it's weaker than Series 1 Young Guns. It's weaker than Series 2 Young Guns. These are leftover rookies. These are guys that didn't get put in. They're probably guys that maybe didn't get into a lot of games rookie year. You know, obviously they only had to play in one in order to get a card. So,
right.
But if you look at the list, I mean, there are some decent players actually on there. You got Jonathan Berggren on there from Detroit. He's the right winger. I mean, he played in a ton of games this year. I think he was in like 67 games, had 28 points. He was a second-round pick back in 2018. He was 14th in rookie scoring. So I know that doesn't sound like he's blowing the world down, but still 14th in rookie scoring out of all the rookies, even out of 100 rookies, he was 14th on the list. So not horrible. Juuso Parssinen from the Predators, he was 16th in scoring, had 25 points this year. Kirill Marchenko from the Blue Jackets, you're going to hear his name a lot probably in the next coming years, especially with that Blue Jackets team and how they're being built and everything else. I mean, he was 17th in rookie scoring. So overall, if you're looking at rookies, there's 3 of the top 20 this year in rookie scoring are in this set. So if you want to make a case for what's in there, there's 3 guys. Now, of all of those young guns, there's only 2 first-round picks, I noticed. Out of all the young guns that are left over there for extended, there's only 2 first-round picks, and that's Simon Holmstrom, who was picked first round in 2019, and Oscar Olsson, who has basically been playing in Sweden. He was Colorado's first-round pick in 2021. So, yeah, there's 2 first-round picks there. Notable names, Atu Radi is on the list. Of course, he's in an Islanders uniform, but he got traded. And that was something else I noticed. A lot of these rookies are pictured in uniforms. They don't even play for those teams anymore because they've been involved in trades or they got moved down to AHL teams and then traded. So now they're part of other organizations and had their contracts sold off and all of that kind of stuff. But if you're looking at purely for are these guys any good? Do these guys hold any weight or anything? There's 13 of the young guns are in the top 100 in rookie scoring. That also means that 16 of them were not. So,
and one's a checklist.
Yeah, well, I wasn't even counting that one.
No, 13, 16, and then the last one is a checklist.
I also noticed that there's like 5 or 6 guys on that list who are undrafted free agents too. Mm-hmm. So these were guys that weren't even picked up. In fact, Jake Lucchini, I don't remember how you pronounce his name because it's been a minute, but he was drafted by the Penguins in 2019. And then he got traded to Montreal, and on the card, he's in the Ottawa jersey. And when you pull up his stats, I think he comes up as part of the Minnesota Wild organization. So since he's been drafted, he's been part of 4 different organizations, and he's just now getting a young gun. If that doesn't tell you that this is a big crop of potentially leftover guys, I don't know what does. But again, at the same time, you got 3 of the top 20. You got quite a few in the top 100 as far as rookie scoring. Awful lot of players drafted in 18 and 19 in that grouping, which just tells you that it takes a little while for these guys to mature enough to be part of the big club.
Right. Not every rookie hits the ground running or hits the ice flying or skating or whatever metaphor you want to use. Because, I mean, a lot of times they get worked in as bit players. You know, they get called up for a game or two. They play a little bit. They get sent back down for more seasoning. They come back a year later. So, I mean, the guy who plays 1 or 2 games this season gets a young gun. I mean, maybe 3 years from now, everyone's going to be looking for his card. You never know. I mean, that's kind of the fun part of it is when you look back later and you go, oh, wow, that guy, I remember him. You know, I remember pulling this card and tossing it aside and not thinking anything of it. And then like years later, you come back to it and it's a pretty sought after card.
Well, how many times do we have the discussions about a guy will come out and just like all of a sudden he must be on a contract year because he's playing 10 grades above his pay grade.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, you know, who did we have? We had Tage Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Not this past season, but the previous season, just came out like gangbusters.
Right.
And all of a sudden everybody's like, what the heck year is his young gun in?
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody knew, because he was never like a guy that people went after.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, the same thing happened with a few years ago with what's his name on the Rangers.
Oh, Chris Kreider.
No, it wasn't Kreider. It was the other guy with the crazy name that I can't think of right now.
Oh,
Anyway,
Mika Zibanejad.
Yes, Zibanejad, right. You know, all of a sudden he went from like a $3 card to he was selling for $45, $50 like crazy. It's like, why? He scored like 5 points in multiple games.
He had a
It's like
5-goal
everybody
game,
went
I think.
He had a few game scoring streak or something and to go with it, and people went crazy and like, where's his young gun? It's like a million years ago. So
Right.
everybody's trying to dig out those young guns. So, you know, we're by no means a prospecting podcast. Anybody that's listened for 5 minutes knows that we're not an investment geared podcast. But if I was to just say, these are garbage young guns, I'd be remiss. So that's what I'm saying. You know, Berggren's a decent one. Parsonen's a good one. I think Marchenko, that's a sleeper one. You know, pack some of those away. I think you're going to hear that name. But, you know, Pontus Holberg from the Leafs. You know, Mac Hollowell is in there. He actually outscored Shane Wright this year. He was ranked one ahead of him on the scoring list. So another Maple Leaf. So, you know, they have the benefit of playing in a market that everybody pays attention to. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's 2 names that you could, you know, put on your list as well. But yeah, so they're not all scrubs. They may seem like it, but there might be a couple gems in there. It just takes a couple years to get to that point.
I want to talk about the 2007-2008 Upper Deck retro parallels. I like these too. I mean, I remember 2 years ago they did the 05-06 parallels, and we were like, oh, that was Crosby's rookie year. And then they did the 06-07 parallels last year, and now they're doing the 07-08. I say parallels, I mean to say insert. Parallel implies that the entire set is also part of this, but it's not. It's like 50 cards or 100 cards or something. It's not the entire 200 card base set and 50 card Young Gun set. If they did, that would be a parallel set. Just to check myself, I say parallels, but really I guess what I should say are inserts, because that's what they are. There's got to be 100, because I'm looking at this one of Dylan Strome and it's numbered 72. So
yeah, there's 75
75
base and then 25 Young Guns.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled the Young Gun of Lucas Reichel of the Blackhawks, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Ah, that was like the same design that they used for Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves Young Guns," you know. So I look at this, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah." Now it's kind
That's
of
a good
fun,
pull for you.
kind of fun, but also kind of sad to be nostalgic about stuff from my adulthood. Like it's one thing to look at that and go, "Oh, I remember that when I was like 12 years old," and now it's kind of sad to be like, oh, yeah, I remember that when I was 33 years old.
Well, what's crazy is there were a lot of people coming up to the table, at least over the weekend at the National. When the Kane or Taves Young Gun came out, they were 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled one of the Young Gun retros too, but mine was Kochetkov from the Hurricanes.
Oh, I might have to trade you for that. I also got Samuel Poulin of the Penguins.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yep. And I got Matej Blumel from the Dallas Stars. Those seem to fall about 1 per box.
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
Yeah. I liked the 07-08 design. It was actually kind of a very understated design. When I got back into collecting hockey cards, I kind of missed out on most of 05, 06. I started in pretty heavy with 06, 07 Upper Deck. And in 07, 08 Upper Deck, I also collected, but maybe not as much as I did in 06, 07, because it was just kind of hard to find them in Chicago because of Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves rookie cards. But the 07, 08 design is just very simple because it's like you have like the player name at the bottom, a stripe on the side. I mean, compared to like some of the designs that we've seen in later years, something like the 07, 08 design, I don't know, it just has this really nice, clean look to it. I'm not trying to sell you on going out and buying a 2007, 2008 Upper Deck set, although I would recommend it. But yeah, I think this is just a nice set to bring back into people's conscious. You know, I did get an exclusives out of 100 of Robert Thomas of the Blues. So that's kind of odd because it's like, it's an insert, but it's also an exclusives of that insert.
Yeah, they did the exclusives on those and also the high gloss. So there's numbered out of 10 versions too.
Did not get one of those though in
I've
any of my
never
boxes.
I've never pulled a high gloss out of any box I've ever opened.
I don't think I've ever pulled a high gloss either. I think that like with lots of different inserts, I mean, I do say, okay, there's maybe one or two or three too many insert sets, and I'm always going to like kind of like frown upon like the parallel versions of the inserts because, like I said, there's so much going on that people just kind of give up. People like went from trying to collect all the inserts to not even bothering with anything because it just became too impossible. But that being said, I do like the inserts. I mean, I do like holographics. I do like the SPX. I do like anything that's printed on the plastic, like the clear dominance or even the smooth grooves because they just have a nice feel to them. I guess, you know, you put Dazzlers in it and people really like Dazzlers. So this makes them want at least, maybe not to buy extended series, but they'll pick up the Dazzlers on the secondary market. So, you know, there's some in-demand inserts here too.
Everybody likes a rainbow.
They like the
that's
Dazzlers.
the hot thing.
They like the canvas.
Those clear dominants, I got one of those too. Those are 1 out of 120 packs too.
Wow.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, so like I said, I like the mix that they do with the base cards being a mix of traded players, bit players, and stars in their all-star uniforms. The short prints being a mix of young guns and players from their draft day photos to round that out. I like the retro-themed inserts. I don't necessarily like all of the inserts in extended series, but I don't think that's like a major detriment for it. Because, you know, the base set is pretty easy enough to put together. And, you know, I don't feel like there's an overwhelming amount of inserts where it prevents you from trying to complete the set. Because there's like one insert per pack. And I always feel like that's kind of the right ratio. Now, that's going to go out the window next year because it's probably going to be like 3 inserts per pack. But we'll see. Maybe I'll like it.
Well, and there's one insert that I have yet to see because it hasn't come out yet. And those are the Champs rookies. They're only on e-pack.
Really?
Yes. I haven't seen what they look like yet, and I'm not sure what they're going to do secondary, but once they come out, I'm sure they'll hit ComC, and once there's 50 or 60 of them, they'll be dirt cheap, but they're apparently 1 per box.
Okay.
So, you know me and my affinity for Champs.
Well, yeah, I mean, Champs is a great set. It's got that old-timey look to it. So any other thoughts about extended series?
I mean, if you like a variety, it's definitely worth a shot to go after, and especially with the price going down. I think at the big show, you could find them for about $80, but regularly they're about 90, 95.
You could still find last year's extended series pretty easily.
Oh, people were selling last year's extended for $30 a box at the National because it was like, we don't care. We could care less about this sucks, we're not selling it. And it kind of makes me laugh because you go back and you look at the Young Gun checklist from last year and it's a little rough, but you know, it's got guys on the list that are pretty decent prospects in team systems. And so picking up a couple $30 boxes and maybe stashing them away for a rainy day, I wouldn't hate on you for doing that.
No, that's not a bad idea, actually. That's a pretty good idea. Yeah, especially with the way people are doing that now.
If you want a this year product for under $100, it's a pretty good variety.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is that if you like Upper Deck Series 1 and Upper Deck Series 2, you got to get this set. You just need it to complete your set, to finish it. I mean, like I said, 3-act play or 3-act movie or whatever. Extended series really does complete it. I always think Upper Deck Series 1 and Series 2 is the best set, but having the more cards, I think, in my mind, makes it the best set.
The only downfall to all the inserts is I'm 30 cards short on the base, 4 cards short on the All-Star, and of course, a ton short on the Young Guns.
Right,
and first round rookies. But yeah, 30 cards short out of a box. I was like, it's a little rough when there aren't any.
But that's not bad. Right. You probably got around 165 base cards and there weren't any doubles.
Not true. I did get one double.
Really?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Are you sure it's not the French parallel?
Positive. I got one French parallel and that was not it.
You know, like I said, if you collect Series 1 and Series 2, you got to collect this set. If you want something that has a lot of variety and a lot of fun inserts, it's worth looking into. If you're just a hobby bro who just wants to invest, this probably isn't for you because it's not a quick flip. It's a long-term investment, but it's definitely something that might pay off in 5 years, but it won't pay off in 5 weeks or 5 months necessarily.
Yeah, you got to play the long game on this if you're looking for some of these rookies to make it. Although they're all in there, so they all played at least one game. Many of them played exactly one game. So.
Yeah, in a way, though, if you think about it, like Series 1 and Extended Series, it's like Upper Deck is like scraping the barrel in both cases. Although this year's Series 1, and I say this year meaning 22-23, Series 1 you had Matt Boldy, you had Owen Power, you had Matty Beniers, and you had Jack Quinn. You had like 4 really decent young guns in Series 1. So it didn't feel like leftovers, even though those were guys who came into the league towards the end of the previous season, which qualified them to be in Series 1. It had enough good rookies, but like a lot of times we've looked at Series 1 and been like, yeah, there's one guy that everybody's going to want and 48 guys that nobody wants and one checklist.
Right.
So here I kind of feel like, okay, well, at least it's only 30 guys, you know, and of course, I think only players up to the All-Star break can be included as a young gun. And I think anybody after the All-Star break, then they get held over for Series 1 in the fall. That's how that works. So, all right, well, I think I'm good to go. I got a whole mess of base cards to sort, so I think we should wrap this one up.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Puck Junk Hockey Podcast. As always, if you've enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe. Please give us a follow on social media. I'm at Puck Junk on Twitter. Tim is at TheRealDFG on Twitter. Also sign up for the new Puck Junk email newsletter at puckjunk.com/newsletter. And until next time, collect what you like.
For more hockey goodness, follow us on Twitter at Puck Junk.